Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And we have an amazing teacher, an embodier is what I want to call her.
Mm,
Someone who's bringing in from her experience and then serving others with that knowledge, with that overflow of consciousness and experience, and how it lights up her world and her life is an invitation for you into what's possible as well. And it's been a while since Sunny Dawn Johnston has been on Beyond the Ordinary with us. And the timing of it and the subject, especially the way that Sunny brings it in and it gives a permissory feel to land so that we can carry it forward. So today we're going to be talking about invoking the archangels. And y'all, if you're new to Sunny Dawn, um, I'm going to recommend that you pay close attention and open your heart because she's got some wisdom to drop and an energy that there's a fiery energy. It's like you can do this and you can carry it forward. And for me, it's so important right now because we're all being called up to access a greater remembrance and then carrying forward that remembrance for our own sake, but for the sake of humanity in ways that we've never experienced before. So, as we talk about invoking the archangels, we're going to talk about, does everybody have access to the angels? How can you call them? How do we recognize it? What might they say? How do we embody the trust and the faith in that also? Um, and again, if you're new to Sunny Dawn, she stands out as a renowned psychic medium. She's a visionary and a spiritual business coach. She's a regular contributor to Women's World magazine and has penned 22 books. Among them, Invoking the Archangels and The Love Never Ends are notable bestsellers, forming the foundation for her signature talks on intuition, mediumship, and the angelic realm. And Sunny, with that, welcome back to BTO. We've missed you.
thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Excited to be here. It's great to see you.
Invoking the archangels. What does that mean for you? What's your experience with that?
It sounds really formal. And when I wrote, I'm like, wow, I'm not a formal person. So where's that coming from? It's really inviting. It's an invitation. It's asking and allowing the angels to come into your space and to really be open to working with them and receiving the guidance and the love. I'd say the receiving is the important piece because so many of us struggle with receiving.
Oh, that's the initiation for sure. I
Yeah.
went through a period in my life where I heard from Spirit, this is your opportunity to receive. And it was a cycle of receiving. And I thought it's about freaking time.
Hmm.
And it was one of the hardest years that I really experienced in my transformational, ever-ending awakening. But to open up to receive and to not tighten the faucet as the flow's coming in is a challenge.
It
Uh,
is.
how do you guide people to opening more to that, to not being so constricted for whatever reason that might be happening?
I think that I just was talking about this yesterday on one of my classes, and I think what it is it's recognizing that that is it's our natural energy, our natural ability. Like when we think about when our spirit came into this body and then we were birthed into this human experience here, that's all we were meant to do was receive. That's
Mm.
all we were supposed to, that's all we could do. We had nothing. We didn't have a job. We didn't have any clothes. We didn't have any food. Like, here I am. I'm just here to receive. Like, literally, that's all we could do. And then throughout, life and society teaches us and all the things, we just, boom, turned it off. And so it's calling us back into learning how to be more in flow with the energy that's natural,
Mhm.
meant to be.
Don't you feel that, or aren't you aware, and perhaps give a different perspective? I don't want to lead the question into a specific answer, but we were meant to pause that for a reason, to have an experience because something else is evolving as we mature and we grow up and we get to this particular point in time. So there had to have been purpose
For sure.
to the contracting around it. What do you see around that, and what's the calling that you're feeling or witnessing so strongly now?
Well, if I looked at my life, I would say that um, all of the challenges that I had in life or when I wasn't willing to receive,
Mm,
when I closed myself off, when I didn't feel worthy enough, when I was comparing myself to others and not good enough, when I didn't ask for help. And so, absolutely to your point, all of those circumstances and situations were guiding me towards the experience of opening up. And even though, I think most of us be like, hey, if I could have skipped over that, that would have been great. And also, we wouldn't have learned.
mhm.
And I'm really grateful for those opportunities in life, especially the hard ones, because it gave me the tools to be able to develop and expand who I am and my understanding, and therefore then be able to share this, just like you are here with the audience, to help them expand as well. So yes, everything. I really think everything happens for a reason. And I know some people struggle with that because there's lots of reasons that aren't great. But I do think they all happen for a reason, including this challenge for us.
Yeah, I agree. When we speak of receiving, and I like to get a little more granular with it because it can, we talk about receiving, it's like, okay, love and the goodness and what's available to us and wonderful. But what are other categories of receiving that the angels are really calling forth that perhaps we might be more attuned to be in relationship with that maybe we weren't before?
I think when we think about receiving, it really is on all levels. So, one of the first places that I was guided, because I really had resistance towards receiving in my young years, I was like, I don't need anybody's help, and I can figure it all out myself, and that kind of place. And where they started me was just receiving compliments
Mm,
because I couldn't. Somebody'd give me a compliment and I'd be like, "Oh yeah," I'd pass it off, I'd negate it, I'd push it down. And what Spirit was teaching me was that actually is your opportunity to receive, just right there, just the gift of acknowledgement, of appreciation, and so I had to start opening the door in very, very small ways to be able to find um, my steady
mm.
energy so that I could actually then start to expand it into greater ways because it was scary for me. Waiting to being open to receive meant being open,
Right. Yeah.
and I didn't like that.
Yeah. Well, we want to be received,
Hmm.
but we close down being received because we're not willing to
Right?
receive. We're not willing to be seen. We diminish somebody else's attention
Yes.
towards us because it doesn't feel comfortable or safe or
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah, uncomfortable. It's scary. I might get hurt, those types of things. And when we start to realize, oh, I'm
Hmm.
hurting myself in advance by doing this. And, some of us do it for a few decades, some of us do it for, more or less time. But ultimately, when we can get to that place, that was the gift that I got to experience with connecting with the angels at such a young age was that um, and I didn't learn it right away, but they taught me how important it was to receive, to be open, like to have my hands open and to my arms open and my heart open. And even though I pushed against it for 15 years, I was a little slow learner. It was that message has never changed in all the decades that I've worked in this field, 40
Wow.
years.
Wow. That's amazing. I want to get into the conversations about the angels and calling on them and becoming more familiar with them and in this walking reality. But I want to stay on the conversation of receiving for a minute because there's a lot of revelatory events that are happening in our world right now.
Mhm.
And by revelatory is that we're seeing a lot of different half truths, partial truths, the hiding of truths, an embracing of truths in different ways. And I think one of the biggest challenges for me is maybe to put an interpretation of what the truth was for me so that I can stay in my comfort zone. And as I'm going deeper into more surrender and my connection directly to the divine, there's a receiving of truth that is truth that is truth, regardless of how uncomfortable it may make me. That's
Mhm.
actually acting as a liberating force that is opening me up to a freedom to receive like I never have before.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really great. That's beautiful.
And so
That's
it's
beautiful.
profound what's happening. And so even as the event can, as world events and maybe even events in our lives, if relationships are contracting, we don't know, our purpose isn't landing the way that we had hoped, our business isn't evolving in ways that we knew that it could because there's a contraction period. There's something that's being revealed in the truth in all those circumstances that are really here for a catalyst
Mhm.
to bring us to another stage of evolution and integrity within ourselves and hence integrity of the world.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that in stepping into mm, the space of witnessing,
Mm,
um, where others are, and then owning the energy of where you are and living in your own truth and integrity, I always am reminded that two things can be true at the same time.
mm,
And a lot of times it depends on the glasses you're looking through and your perspective, where you are standing at any given time. May look like somebody is telling something that isn't true, when actually, if you stepped over there, you'd see exactly the same thing that they saw.
right.
And Spirit has always reminded me that everyone has what is their truth, and then there is the divine truth. And
Mm,
the divine truth, when we align with that, I don't think then that we need to prove truth to anybody. And I think that's where we're getting stuck right now, is people are trying to prove their side, their perspective back and forth. And when we get into that divine truth, then we just live our light, and we know that all is happening and in divine perfect order and time, even if we don't like it, and that there's nothing really to prove.
mm. That's
And
beautiful.
that gives me freedom, because my nature is I'm a lot of fire. You said something about fire. I got
Oh
nine
yeah,
planets
I
in
feel it
fire.
so strongly in you. Yeah.
Yeah, I got nine planets in fire, so I got a lot of fire. So my nature would be like, don't you see? Like, come on, look, 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 right? And luckily, Spirit took that away when I first started doing this work, because that was the whole purpose of what my work was to never try to prove to anybody, but to offer if they were interested.
Hmm.
And that's been a beautiful gift in being able to look at the challenges that people are experiencing right now, and trusting the divine order.
Well, but I also appreciate your fire
I
and,
got some fire.
and the way that comes through. No, really, and I prefer that because there's a certain time for holding other people and being nurturing and holding their hearts and their spirit in particular ways. Well, I say always, but there's also a time for action
Yes.
and a pushing people to an edge of who they believe they are and what they can hold into something else that is alive in them, but they just can't see it yet because no one's quite pushed them just to that edge where they can choose that expansionary awareness within themselves.
Yeah. I love that. Yes, I think that, some of us that have a lot of that fire um can uh, can be sensitive to how much of a push it can be. The
Mm,
great thing I think that I found in my life, and especially at this time in my career, is that people pay me to push. Like I get to push, right? Like I'm not out there pushing people that don't want to be pushed.
right.
I get to do that for a living and help support people. They're like, help me get there, help me to see that. And so then I can give that push. And it's so inspiring to me, because when I started this career 25 years ago, there weren't many people asking.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, look at your show. Look at what has happened over the years and the expansion of it. Like, now people want more and more information and knowledge and education, and they want that nudge,
Yeah. And
right?
what I appreciate about you also is that you're not pushing the truth onto people,
Mm.
but when they're ready, it's in your truth.
Yes.
They can meet you in a vibrational tone that, okay, let's take this together if you're willing to have that inner dynamic
Hmm.
with each other. And again, you've created an environment and there's an attraction into this container that you uniquely hold. It's like people show up, it's like, all right, I may be taken to edges,
Mhm.
but I'm ready for it. I'm
Yeah.
willing for it. I've tried everything else and it's not satisfying enough. And okay, let's discover what else is possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love it. I think it's, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm like such a lifelong learner. I
Oh
just
yeah.
like, I'm just always wanting to learn more and more and more and more about myself, about others, about most things except for rocks. My husband really wants to learn a lot about rocks, and I'm like, okay, I bypass that piece. Crystals will get my attention. Just plain old rocks. I'm like, I don't care if it's a million and a
Yeah.
half years old. But I'm always loving to learn, and so it's so fun when you get to work with people who want
hmm
to learn too.
What have you learned about yourself recently about your connection and your communication with the angels and the archangels? Has that been evolving?
I learned recently. You know, it's interesting because I go through periods of my life where um, I think I get comfortable. I think most
Mhm.
people do this. And then life brings me an opportunity to deepen that connection and to rely more on it than I had been. And then so it's like this expansion and then this expand and it seems to be that if I look back at my life, it seems like that's always how it happens. And so lately I found a really I just had a conversation about this an hour ago about getting back to basics and and staying committed and consistent with those basics, which I have done really pretty well. But what that was the message that the angels were giving me is remind people that it's the basics that are the foundation of your healthy life, right? And so when we get into those basics, because when we're a learner, we can be like, oh, this is so cool, this is so cool, but we forget to do the things that really make the biggest difference in our lives. And so I think absolutely it shifts. And you know, I I have a relationship with the angels like I talk with them without even realizing that I'm doing it. It's been
Mhm.
such an integrated part of my life that I wouldn't even think to say something out loud because it's just part of how it's always been. And sometimes people on my team will be like, "Well, Sunny, what are you thinking? What are they saying?" And I'm like, "Oh, like because it's so different than how most people go, okay, I'm going to go into meditation. I'm going to get a message from my angels. I'm going to do automatic writing and get a message. I'm like, I'm just going to get one like right now. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the kingdom of heaven's within, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm. Wow. So what are some of the basics that you're speaking about? Can you share that?
Yeah. So I think the basics, number one, is connection, is creating that connection. And people do that in different ways. Some people meditate, some people pray, some people focus on their breath. Some people do yoga, some people go out in nature, but it's creating that connection to source, the divine, in whatever form that is for you. Um, and then it was also about like honoring, so that's honoring kind of the spirit aspect of us, but honoring the physical aspect of us, your body, taking care of it,
Mm.
moving it, making sure it's getting exercise and good nutrition and fluids and sleep. And these are things that, we all know, but then especially when you're starting to develop your spiritual growth. I remember when I first decided to focus on my spirituality and I was 13 years old. I'm like, I just want to go up here. I'm done with the body. I
Wow.
don't have to think about the body. I don't like the body anyway. And so it's so nice to be in this realm I loved it. And then Spirit was like, you came here for a reason. You
Mm.
need to learn to integrate the spirit in the body. And I was like, dang. And so incorporating the basics of our basics in health, integrated with that connection with spirit to embody that energy. And I think this is probably the key is embodiment.
Mhm.
Um, because so many of us are up here.
Right.
We don't embody our feelings, we don't embody the messages, we don't embody the connection. And so it's like we're having two separate we've got two separate things going on, two separate lives almost.
What do you share with the people who are part of your community and your membership that you teach at live events to help them to anchor in the embodiment piece?
Yeah, so many things. I mean, there's so many tools right now. I would say that one that's been so important for me is really being grounded as a person that does the work that I do, connecting with spirit, working with mediumship and police and missing persons cases and all the things that I've done. I've got to be grounded. Like I have
Mhm.
to be really centered in my body because what I found is if I wasn't, my body would get sick. And so grounding in whatever form that means for you, I think is really critical. Paying attention to your nervous system. This is something that is newer kind of language. It's super popular right now. Everybody's talking about it, but recognizing when our nervous system is activated, we're not embodying, we're disconnecting. We're separate from it, and we want to learn how to calm the nervous system so that we can actually embody the feelings and the emotions. And I think the other thing too is that what I found for myself, and I find this for a lot of my clients, is you got to get out of the head.
Mhm.
The head tells a lot of stories.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories going on there. When we really move that into the heart and then being able to discern what is the head and what is the heart. I don't know if you find this, but in so many of my clients, they'll be like, my head's telling me this and my heart's telling me this. And I'm like, you got it backwards, girl. It's
Yeah.
actually your heart that's saying this and so they don't even know which one's talking.
Hmm.
Right. So learning how to really get into the body to feel when it's actually your spirit versus it's your head that's saying, oh no, da 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 da. I think and of course breath work. I love breath work. That's going to
Hmm.
really get you centered in embodiment. There's so many tools, but I think everybody needs to find what resonates with them, what really aligns with them, and then they'll go on their own journey. They'll do this, and then they'll do this, and then they'll find the thing that's like, this is it.
Yeah. Well, they need to find it, but then we need to implement
For
it and be
sure.
diligent with the practice, with the relational dynamic of what we're hoping to experience in this world. So it's one thing to know it, it's one thing to go into a breathwork practice, when we remember every once in a while because we're so dysregulated,
Yeah,
or to tune in and to ground because, oh my God, all of a sudden I feel like I'm out of myself and I'm running in chaos. But to actually consciously choose to be in a state of vibrational alignment with that which we wish to experience, there's a devotion to that path. And it
that's
doesn't
actually a
come
great
without
word.
the work. Yeah.
That's a great word. I always say consistency is the key. And I think it's the key to what's kept me healthy in my life doing the work that I've done is because I am proactive with all of those steps. So I take action on the front end because once you are dysregulated, once you absorb the energy of somebody else, once you get into that energy, now not only do you need to get yourselves grounded, but you also need to get rid of the energy that you just brought in. So it's a lot harder to be reactive than it is to be proactive. So that consistent um, practice for me every single day, first thing in the morning.
Hmm.
I can't, um, well, I don't want to function in the way that I would if I weren't consistent with that practice in the morning.
Hmm.
And a lot of people will say, well, I do it around noon. Well, by noon, there's a lot of stuff that's happened that you may have already taken on that now you're going to have to integrate and release and do the work around. Whereas for me, I know as soon as I get out of that bed, my day is gone. I'm on, right? I'm boom, I'm going. So I'm going to do this before I even my feet hit the ground. And that way I know I'm committed to it every single day.
You're setting the tone for your creations for the rest of the day.
100%.
And you're taking
Every day.
responsibility for that creation.
Yes. And
Uh,
it's every day, and I've done it every day for 28 years.
Wow.
There have been days where my meditation was 1 minute, and I said, "Okay, angels, hurry up, come on, we got to go." And that might have been it. But every single day, there's been something intentionally in the morning to call in my angels, to say thank you to spirit, to open myself to receive, and to ask, "How may I serve?" Every single day for 28 years.
That's beautiful, Sunny.
It's
It reminds
necessary.
Yeah, it reminds me of the analogy. If you veer the airplane just 1 degree uh, in a different course, you'll wind up completely somewhere different. And
Yeah.
if your trajectory is in a particular way that you prefer it not to be, just 1 degree, a little bit at a time, and before you know it, you're in new terrain. You're exploring new possibilities.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that when you have that, there's a certain um sense of not just connection, but confidence in knowing that you have been committed
Mm,
and that that commitment doesn't end, meaning it's not like spirits just can go, oh, we're busy today. Like anytime that you call that energy in because of your devotion, they're also devoted,
mhm.
right?
We're getting to know each other. We're building intimacy. And if we're wishing for intimacy and acceptance and love in our exterior world, then what a great place to start. If we want to connect with our guides, with the angels in a way, how do we do that? We show up.
Yeah, we show up. We ask for help. We allow, ask, allow. So when I was writing my book in 2011 about the angels, they gave me a little four-step process. They said ask, allow, believe, receive.
Mm,
And my head was like, oh, no, no, I got to receive. And then believe. I flipped them. And they're like, oh, no, no. You believe, then you receive, not the other way around.
right.
Society has been taught, yes, if you see it, then you can believe it. It's the other way around, Sonny.
The other way
And
around.
so that little process, ask, allow, believe, receive, has really helped me remember, okay, this is where I need to get into that alignment.
Mm. Ask, allow, believe, receive.
Got it.
The alchemical formula right there. I love that you came up with that. Something came to me earlier today, and it was a direct message. And I've been in this, I'll call it an incubation or hermit kind of phase, and something new is birthing place. It's like curious, it's such an intimate space. But the message that I received from the guidance as I was meditating it was to withdraw to remember, remember to embody, which is what we're talking about, and then embody to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And we serve in so many different ways, whether it's just sharing just the vibrational tone of being with us, or it can be serving a huge community, whatever it is, but it's we serve from that awareness and that connection to spirit and what we receive from our capacity to open of this treasure that wants to be gifted to us, but that we've been too distracted or too fearful to receive for whatever reason.
Well, and I love the embodiment piece because the way that Spirit has always said to me is you can have a lot of knowledge, but knowledge without embodiment is just knowledge.
Hmm.
Not knowledge with embodiment is wisdom. And that's what then that's how we want to serve is through wisdom,
Right.
right? Having the experience that actually has embodied and anchored that into your being for whatever your experience was helps others to then identify it as well.
It- And the embodiment piece is strong also. And I came more to terms, well, it feels good to embody and to ground in and the action taken ability and the power that emerges, not for the sake of power, but for the sake of creation and the guidance and again, the intimacy of a wisdom and an intelligence that is guiding us to experience awe and wonder in ways that are possible that we have barely tapped the root into. So what came to me really strongly, and part of my embodiment is the awareness is that part of my purpose, perhaps all of my purpose, stems from that, is to really anchor in heaven on earth.
Hmm.
That me being here in physical form isn't an accident and isn't just random.
Right.
And to tune in that part of what I'm due to here is illuminate that light onto this reality. It's it's a permission to really be. And it gives a sense of direct purpose where it can be so confusing because so many other people are putting their projections onto us of why we're here, what we should be doing, and how we provide value from the doing something that they need from us.
Mhm. What I love that you said is it's the permission to be.
Yeah.
And it's just illuminating that light. And years ago I was really struggling with purpose and like, okay, what is my purpose? What am I meant? And I associated purpose with some external title or something like that. And the angel said to me, purpose is present moment. You
Mm.
be in present moment and you'll serve your purpose.
Beautiful.
And I was like, can't be that easy. And then it was like, no, this is purpose. It's not something
Mhm.
outside of you. It's not something at the end of the rainbow. It's not something you're going to get a title and a name tag. Presence to be.
Mm.
There's purpose.
Beautiful. All right, Sunny, we're going to get into Q&A in a little bit. So if you're okay with that, we'll have people raise
For
their hand.
sure. I
We'll
love
drop in the
Q&A.
questions. We'll go into Q&A. But let's drop some truth bombs.
Okay. Truth bombs.
Truth bombs. And y'all, these are going to be basic, but it's just great to ignite the field. Does everybody have access to angels?
Yes. 100%.
How,
Everybody.
how
Always.
can how can we connect more to that guidance and not only how we can connect it, we also talked about angels and archangels. What's the difference for you? And do we say open to who wants to show up? Do we invoke particular angels for particular task? Are we just present and there's a harmonic kind of intelligence that guides it all together? What's your experience of all of that?
All that. That's all perfect. Exactly. Yes. So I'll answer kind of each piece of that. So,
Yeah.
the angels and archangels really that is a human creation of ways to organize and put in different levels, basically, hierarchy. But the reality of it is that there are the archangels just are a bigger, stronger frequency.
Mm,
And the angelic realm, all of the angelic realm is this really, there's all qualities. So, yes, you can call on Archangel Raphael for healing, Archangel Michael for courage and strength, and Archangel Uriel for seeing the bigger picture, and Archangel Samuel for unconditional love. Like, absolutely. And that helps our human mind know who we're asking for and what we're asking of that, just so that we can organize it in our minds. Is it necessary? No. So we
mm,
can say, I need healing, and they know who they are and they know what needs to come through. But for the humanness of us, I think a lot of us like to have an understanding of that. So that's more of why I've taught from that perspective to help people to understand.
mm,
Now, everybody has angels. Everybody has a guardian angel that comes with you from the moment you're here on this physical planet until the moment you leave, a guardian angel, and what I call a master guide. So we all have those as solid support throughout our journey. But then we have different angels and different guides that come in at different times for different reasons, just like different people come into our lives. At different, if you're in a season of new parenthood, you're going to need different support than when you are in the season of retirement. And so different support comes in at different times. And the way you access them is you ask.
mm.
Simply ask.
How can someone be stronger in their trust and their faith that what they're asking for is being received and that there is support for them?
Um, the honest answer is I think it's practice.
Mm,
Practice to get that trust, because I think if you just go in and say, okay, well, I'm just going to trust, and then the net you say, okay, I need a sign right now, and the angels are like, okay, you can't tell us what time. You can't say, okay, at 2 o'clock on Thursday, I need you to show me a butterfly. Like, it doesn't work that way, because that's what they're teaching us. My entire journey has
mm.
been them teaching me how to trust,
Yeah.
them teaching me to trust that energy, to trust that timing. And more often than I can remember, um, they have surprised me in ways beyond what I thought could happen,
Yeah. Yeah.
without exception.
Hmm.
And from somebody who's lived a pretty colorful life and had a lot of different types of really challenging experiences, most people that know me now would never imagine that that was my life. They would never be able to put those two together. And so the miracle in it has been my trust and faith and connection in the support that I
Hmm.
have. Now, what the problem was is I didn't feel like I deserved it.
Ah.
So I had that was where my work was until I could receive that energy and that love.
That's a big one. And there's also a setting up where different experiences in our life have led us to believe is like, I can ask, but no one will show up to support me. It's like I'm not a priority. Something else is more important, or I'm just kind of pushed to the side because for whatever reason, no one's pays attention or is willing to show up or is capable. And
Hmm.
so all of these limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Um, tend to show up as a way to preempt and negate what's available to us. How
Yes.
did the angels push through some of those barriers that we put up so that perhaps we can receive more of their grace?
You know, I'll tell you that the lesson that I finally got, like I said, sometimes I'm a slow learner here. So that I'm sure they're like, oh my gosh, could you give us someone new next time? Um, but what I would say is that I had to really get to a place of learning um, that um, I deserved to be loved. And any time that I didn't feel worthy, my story was that everybody left me,
Mhm.
including the spirit world.
Yeah.
What the truth was, what the angels told me is, you leave us. We don't ever leave you.
Ah, beautiful.
And I'm like, ugh. Because it was true, right? Like I would check out, I would disconnect, I would separate, I would isolate, I would shut down, I would get angry. Um, and that was my way of showing my lack of worthiness. And
Mm,
but my story and my excuse was everybody leaves.
mm. Yeah. I know that one well.
Hmm.
I think a lot of us on this call
Yeah.
can relate
And
to
when you can change that, when you can when they said we don't leave you, you leave us. Like I felt that in my soul. Like you know truth, right? You feel truth in your body. And so when I heard that, and it was inside, they said it inside of my head. When I heard that, I tightened up because my ego didn't want that to be true. And I like, yeah, that's
that.
right. I do. And so
Well,
then the journey was learning how to not do that.
intimacy, daily practice, being in the realm, and I'd say being curious to awe and wonder, even if you've never experienced it before. Just a little bit of receptivity goes such a long way.
Such a long way. And the openness, I think we've got to be open to the way that they are showing up in our lives and angels in particular in comparison to spirit guides and our loved ones in spirit. Angels are subtle. Their energy is subtle. The frequency is subtle. So it's not the in your face kind of stuff. It's so subtle that you have to be, and this is how they taught me, you have to be present in
Hmm.
order to experience them. And so it calls us into more presence in our day-to-day lives, more presence in our bodies, more presence in our energy field, which helps us to then connect with them and feel their presence and actually know, not think, not hope, know
Yeah.
they're with us.
That's beautiful. It can be intimidating for someone who's listening to these calls, and again, we get a lot of comments on it over the years, um, inevitably. But it can be intimidating because spirits and that connection for me seems to come so easily. That the
Mhm.
angels come in and your mediumship, your ability to connect, just there's such a fluidity and a grace and an ease to it as well. Well, look, Sonny can do it. John can do it. These other people have a gift of having that relationship with such great ease. Why am I not capable? They're capable. They have a specific skill that I'll never have. And that comes up a lot.
Mhm. Wrong, not true.
Thank you.
It absolutely you feel that way, and I get it. Because that's what I've really dedicated my whole life is to helping people um, not learn, remember. Because we already
Beautiful.
know it. We already know
Right.
it, right? And what I will say is we tell stories, and we tell stories that that person has that and I don't. But before we were ever physical, we were spirit, and we use this language to communicate way before we were ever here. And we don't lose it when we come here. We forget it because we're trained into different kinds of language. And
Mm,
depending on the environment that you're brought up in, the society you're brought up in, the religion or non-religion that you were brought up in, then you either had more exposure or less to that natural ability.
mm.
I've been doing this work for 41 years.
Wow.
So I started having experiences at 13 years old. I'm 54. And so I have had a lot of life experience. And so that's why it comes so easily for me because I've connected with them for 28 years consistently. But for people who are new that feel like they don't have it, what I would say is it's just that you didn't have the awareness of it. And as soon as you start opening that door consistently,
Hmm.
then you will. I mean, I work with people every day. I teach intuition classes every week. Like you will have those experiences and you will begin to learn, to relearn what you already knew, but you forgot and rediscover that part of you that is so deeply connected. Because if you're a spirit in a body, this is your natural. This isn't unnatural. This is the most natural language we have. It's the most natural connection we have. It's more natural than anything outside of us.
Right. Yeah. We're just learning how to lucid dream in this lifetime,
Mhm.
basically.
Mhm. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
it's beautiful. What an amazing opportunity. And again, I just love the fire that you hold. It's like absolutely you can. There's like no question about it. It's
No
like
question.
it is alive in you. Everybody on this call listening to the replay who may hear this message, God knows how many years into the future, if it still exists out there.
Yeah.
We all have the gift of the intimacy with spirits and the angels and that support and love and benevolence
And connection to
available.
your loved ones in spirit. Like we all have that gift too. So then some people think, well, I can't be a medium, only special people have that. Yep, special people do, which is everybody. Like everybody has that ability. Everybody has that gift to connect. You may not be a medium to your best friend's loved one in spirit, but you sure as hell are a medium to the loved ones that you have in spirit because you have the heart connection with them. And
Mm,
those of us that do this work, what do we tap into to help you connect? The heart.
beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to share something vulnerably, and we're going to get
Okay.
into Q&A. So if you guys want to raise your question or raise your hand to ask questions, type your question into the chat box. We'll get to that in a little bit. So we ask our speakers to, when they come on, to bring in a special offer because I want you all to have an opportunity to go deeper with the amazing facilitators that we bring onto the show. And for me, they're really special if they're on the show, without question. Um, when Sunny's team bought something on a special offer, it's like, but no, we need to make it really accessible and like super accessible. And then we kept asking them to make the price more of a yes for y'all to participate because I know what's available when you drop in with Sunny. When I looked at the finished special offer page, I didn't realize that what she and her team were offering was a full year program for this price. I thought it was a couple of months. I want you all to go through the special offer with us, y'all, because for $97, you're going to get a membership for Sunny for 1 year.
Mhm.
For 1 year. So I overextended myself. I apologize, Sunny, for it's like, but we gotta offer more. It's like
No.
I misinterpreted just how much was really there. And to be in a container with you for a year in this way, in your community, the testimonials that are on the page, like people like, I'm in it because I'm not learning, like what I've learned in here exceeds all of my expectations and so much more. It's absolutely incredible. So y'all take a minute. Again, we're going to get into Q&A in a second. Click on the special offer button right underneath the video where you're watching the call. The link is also in the chat box, and you can always find special offers on beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace. And Sunny, if you would, we guide everybody to what they're going to have access to for the year
You bet.
for what's coming through. Yeah.
You bet. I'm just going to the page too because you
Awesome.
guys did a great page. So basically this is a annual membership as a visionary member of my School of Light. And so it's $97 for the entire year. And what it's offering you is in the School of Light, we have a variety of foundational programs, and then we have programs that you can also buy in addition to that will cost extra, but you get 10% off of all of that. So some of the things that we have, we have a um, in the 1 year membership, we have the opportunity to participate in an annual retreat online, which is a full day, so 8 hours of mind, body, spirit, emotions, energy, intuition, all the fun stuff. To be able to spend the time in community. This one that we had this past summer, we had, I think, 200 and something amount of people on it. Like it's super popular because you're going to get the opportunity to really deep dive into your spiritual connection and to your intuition. You also get, we also have a luncheon here in Phoenix if you're in the area. We also have monthly energy forecasts. So you get a forecast to give you the
Mm.
idea of, what's coming up energetically. We have a whole community page where I pop in, some of the other teachers in the community pop in and give you little teachings. Right now, we've got a naturopath that I'm teaching a class tomorrow that is free in the School of Light. So we have a lot of different classes and courses that are free, and then there's some that are paid. So the free ones will be part of your membership. And so tomorrow's is free that we're doing with a naturopath on incorporating spirituality with your healing. And then we also have a couple memberships that are inside of School of Light. Those are extra, but you can certainly have access. We usually give access to one class a month if you're School of Light members that is also free. So there's a lot of opportunity in the class. And then if you wanted to expand, let's say you want to learn more about developing your spirit-based, heart-based business, then there's opportunity to take some classes specifically in that area, and you get 10% off for the entire year. So really what we focus on is we focus on reminding you of your light and reminding you that when you know your light, that you are walking this path of light, and that each and every one of us has the ability to show up in our light and to create that connection. To me, community is one of the most important things because I think that's where we reflect our light and where we're reminded of it.
Yeah.
So there's a full list on here of the full day retreat and the personal community and the monthly energy reports and access to new classes and the 10% off. And we have an affiliate program, so you can join that and you can make money. So there's all different kinds of, and then bonus stuff. We have people that do card pulls once or twice a week. We have people that do sound healing. We have people that teach you about essential oils. There's a lot of different teachers, not just me. It's actually why I created the School of Light so that we could incorporate a lot of different teachers and guides, not just myself.
And
So
community showing each other what's possible and
I
just
love
activating
community.
each other. Yeah.
Yes, I
That's
love community.
that's awesome. Well, you're a great guide for community, so it's awesome that you're doing this. And again, y'all, for $97 to go into Sunny Dawn Johnson's community, it's just what a gift and an opportunity. And again, I pushed for a discount, not realizing what I was really asking for, and y'all get to benefit from it if you choose to show up. And Sunny, thank you and your team for being so generous.
Yeah,
And it's
super excited about it. And we'd love for you to come and join us. 97 bucks for a year. Just the retreat is valued at $600. So that gives you an idea.
yeah,
So,
amazing. Y'all go deep.
yeah.
It's like I don't have to over promote it because it's just the value is just like, come on. It's like seems like a no-brainer. But again, click on the special offer link, click on the purchase now, and you'll get the links to start accessing the calls, which is wonderful. So again, Sunny, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And with that, we're ready to dive into some calls?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's go. Fallon, let's start with you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Hi, Sunny.
Hi, I love your name.
Thank you. I love your name too. I didn't have a specific question, but if that you need that for to channel, then I can come up with one very quickly.
Well, what's on your heart? Why don't you just tell me what's on your heart?
I'm suffering like really bad, and it's financial, but it's affecting every area of my life.
Yeah. What it feels to me is a lot of density, and I get fear. There's a lot of fear that's sitting in your heart space.
Mm,
And certainly when you're having concerns that are manifesting in ways that are scary, then it's going to activate that fear, which then is going to activate the fear in every single area. I'll tell you that what I feel like is that Archangel Shamuel is who I would work with for you. There's a lot of pink light around, especially your, I have to flip right side. And so Shamuel's energy is the energy of unconditional love and reminds you to love yourself unconditionally. There's some lack of worthiness deep down in there, sister, that if we can get some of that energy flowing, then it won't activate that same and trigger that same amount of fear. So bringing that energy in, because what's happening is that sense of lack, like it's actually this program was perfect for you. Like this
yeah.
one was just made for you. So because John talked a lot about receiving, and so that is really an important piece for you, that when you start to do that and you start filling up that space with unconditional love instead of judgment and criticism, then the fear, you're gonna have more confidence. The fear will start to dissipate. And I promise you, I know this because I did it myself.
Hmm,
Okay. So that take that to heart, literally to your heart.
Thank you.
Okay. You're
beautiful.
welcome, honey. You're welcome.
Sunny, what happens sometimes, and I'm a little familiar with Fallon's journey just based on a couple of other calls she's been on. And I'm sharing this, Fallon. I hope it's okay. I get the sense that it
Always.
is. Um, there's other people that have written in about they're trying to get business going or their businesses aren't supporting them in the way they hope, and they keep pushing, pushing, pushing. How can we tune in and be more receptive to guidance? Because sometimes we're holding on so tightly and we are supposed to cut bait, or sometimes we are supposed to go deeper in, but maybe in a new way. And how can we attune into what the real guidance is rather than and get to know if we're really coming at it from a holding on or fear basis that we're going to lose something
Yeah.
instead of just surrendering to what really wants to unfold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's difficult. It's hard to discern, right? I work with spiritual practitioners. I have a whole business community, and so I've seen this a lot, this push pull, and no, I really want to do this, but if you don't have that self love, then there's an energy of attraction. And that energy of attraction is pushing against what you really want because you don't feel like you're deserving of it. So you push away the things that can actually happen. And so I think that's why the center core of the message is that, because everything personal is business and everything business is personal. And it's not about having to hustle more. It's really about having to fall in more, like lean into. And that leaning into, I get that there can be fear around it because you're focused on the external. But if you're focused on the internal and you get into that place of knowing your deservability and your worthiness, then you attract that deservability and that worthiness. And then either the idea that you're into starts to line up or it falls away and something new comes. And I'm always asking people to be open to the something new that comes too, because we do kind of hold on like they're our babies,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Nope, this is I have literally right here. I have a notebook full of ideas that I haven't done. A notebook. Like I have a million ideas a day. Literally, like I'm so always, I got fire, you guys. All right. I always got ideas. But so many of them are just coming through to make room for the next one. And you want to be open to that possibility. But when you get into alignment with your soul and your knowingness of your value and your worth, then when that energy comes, it's so much easier to create because you attract from that space and not from the lack mentality.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've kind of just like my business, I'm like pretending it doesn't exist. We're done with that. We're just gonna go in this other lane and be totally open and live a normal life until further notice is kind of
Mhm.
like where I've been at.
Yeah.
Mm,
Or maybe you could be in a place of just saying, okay, I want a business and I'm open to the business and allow me to experience what I need to experience within to then know what I want to do outside.
mm. Beautiful.
Absolutely. That's perfect.
Blessings
Thank
to you,
you.
Fallon.
Thank you so much.
You feel more grounded to me than the last time I saw you. So trust that.
Yeah.
it's like you're moving in the right direction, it looks like. So blessings
Yeah.
to you.
And everything
Yeah.
you suggested has been very,
Good.
very
Good.
helpful. So thank you.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So good to see you. It's Sunny, I think it was 12 years ago that I had a reading with you.
Was it that long ago? I was
It
just saying
was,
we've grown up here together
yeah,
on
we
and off.
have. And you tuned in and you saw a potential in me that I felt alive in my field also. And the fruition of that finally has legs, and it looks like it might be landing somewhere during this time.
Yay.
It's been a 12-year journey. I felt it in my field the whole time. It's like, but that makes sense. But yeah, and then there's been like near hits and misses, but a lot of letting go
Mhm.
and the timing to come through. And one of the gentle parts of our heart as being so empathic, intuitive, being able to vision into the future is to not hold on so tightly to a vision because we see it as being already alive
Mhm.
and to allow the unfolding because like you said, the angels have different timing than we do. It's a different spectrum of creation.
Yes.
Um, and y'all, I've been on this journey for this particular project for really 12 years. 12
Yes.
years. And it's like, and it naturally presented itself. I wasn't chasing it. It's just opportunities would kind of ping the field.
Exactly. I just to give you an example. So we don't, the spirit world doesn't live in linear time. So we measure everything by tomorrow, the next day, the next day, next week, but there's no linear time. It's experience. And
Mhm.
so it's expansion. And so when we're expanded enough, then that opportunity presents itself. And I just 2 weeks ago, my husband and I went for a walk and I just told him about an idea that I had that just again, I have a notebook of ideas, you guys. I'm crazy with ideas, but I had one that I'm like, ooh, I don't know. I got some fire in this one, right? But
Mhm.
I really literally have no idea how to actually put it in motion. So I vocalized it out loud to my husband. I haven't said it to anybody else, just my husband. And yesterday I got a text from somebody that said, hey, I was just wondering if you happen to know anybody that might be interested in doing this. I would like to fund it. I'm like, oh my hell, yes, of course I do know somebody. And this doesn't surprise me at all that you're messaging me because, and so that's the point. That was less than 2 weeks,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Amazing.
linear time, right? And then other things like 20 years later, and you're like, okay, it's about damn time here.
Right. Yeah. Totally. But it is what it is. It's like
Yes,
releasing and
yes,
knowing. It's like if it's for me and it'll land and I feel it in me. And like when it's time, it's time. And it's been okay. It's been wonderful to learn and integrate along
yeah,
journey. So the ongoing,
exciting. I'm excited for you.
me too, me too. We'll see what comes of it, but it's
Yeah,
looking pretty darn good. So
awesome.
again, it's gone as far as it's ever gone. So it's
Yep.
great. All right, let's get into some more questions here. Simaro, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Simaro. Yes, that is you. And please tell me you're
Hi.
correct.
It's
Yes.
Crystal. So,
Oh, hi, Crystal.
Crystal.
Okay. Hi,
um,
Crystal.
hi.
Hi.
Well, I just recently, like this last Saturday, found out I have angels with me. Um, I'm one of them that never, I can't do this type of person. Not a negative one, but I haven't loved myself for a super long time. Um, so I was just wondering, how do I talk to the angels, and do they have anything they want to tell me to help me along?
Okay,
Mm,
really good. So I just want to share, I don't think I shared this in this group, but just so you guys all understand, the way that I started connecting with the angels is I literally went to bed one night when I was 13. I woke up and I saw my guardian angel above my bed. And I didn't believe in angels. I hadn't had any connection with them at all. I wasn't religious. Like, so I was like, I have no idea why this happened, but they came to me for some reason. Well, we know the reason now, but I didn't know the reason then, right? So I just want to share with you that I wasn't a believer. I didn't have any interest, any connection at all either. So we're in the same boat, Crystal. Okay. So the first thing that I would tell you is you can talk to them just like you're talking to me right now. It literally is just a conversation, either externally out loud or in your mind telepathically. You can do either one. They're receptive to either way of communicating. You can also write. Automatic writing is a great way to connect with the angels. And if you've never done that, you don't know anything about it, then you can certainly learn more about that because that's another way. But for me, what I did was I would ask questions out loud, and then I would write what answers came to me because answers came. Like I would just either I would hear it in my ears or I would hear it inside of my head or I would just have this knowing that I could just give words to. So I would encourage you to start by just creating and developing your own relationship. Now, one of the reasons that I wrote my book, Invoking the Archangels, is because there were a lot of people when I would teach about angels, they would be like, well, I want to learn how to have my own relationship with them. And that's what I want. I want you guys to have your own relationship with the angels, not go to somebody that tells you this is the way that it is, right? So what I found the best way to do that is to start working with one of the angels. And here's the language pattern that I would use. Let's say it was Archangel Michael, and we want to start working with Archangel Michael. It could be your guardian angel. And I'd say, allow me to experience you in a way that I know that it's you. And then I would start my day out that way. I'd call him in. I'd say, all right, Michael, we're going to work together today. I'm going to be paying attention. I'm going to call in my presence. I'm going to tune in. I'm going to invite your energy in and allow me to experience you in a way that I know it's you. And I'm probably going to bring in some blue. I'm probably going to wear a blue t-shirt. Like I'm going to bring in the vibration that connects with that angel. And then throughout the day, I'm going to keep a little notebook or you're going to use your phone notes and anything that happens that's out of the ordinary, beyond the ordinary.
Mm.
We're gonna jot that down so that at the end of the day, or maybe at the end of the week, depending on how you're doing it, you can actually go and see, oh, I had this happen and this happened and this happened. These things are out of the ordinary. And so then what you do is you start recognizing that this is the way that Archangel Michael shows up in your life because he's going to show up differently for you than he is for me, than he is for John, than he is for Cindy. And so that's what we start to do to develop relationships specifically with them, where we build trust and start to actually create solid connections. That makes sense for you?
Yes.
And then you heard the conversation with Fallon about self-love. So I'm going to ditto that conversation because I think that's going to be very valuable to you. And I don't know what your history is around who it was that told you that you weren't good enough, you couldn't do it. There was some kind of strong belief system around that we want to take your power back. So almost like I have a process that I teach people, and I've got a video in School of Light that teaches you actually how to take your power back from past circumstances that you have still got energy invested in, because then you don't have all of your energy. Some of your energy is living over there in somebody else. Okay, and that would be really beneficial for you because some of that, some of those stories, some of those experiences, they're real, but some of those experiences have really taken your power.
Hmm. All
Yeah.
right, Crystal. There's a lot to share there. And no worries with your notes. We're gonna run the replay so you can go back. You can even download somewhere to transcribe it, or go back to take notes. So again, we'll send the link out for the replay later this evening. Come back to it. There's a lot here. Um, and just seeing your life,
Thank you.
Crystal, it's just how exciting to get to open and to experience to the beauty that is really here for you. It truly is. Yeah. Can see it in your
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh,
Thank
it's the
you.
best journey ever, sister. It's the best journey ever. It's brought me to today, and oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what life would have been like without it for me. Right? So now you just get to, I mean, how much better can it be?
Right. All right,
Thank
Crystal,
you. That
blessings
was
to you.
great.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for coming
you.
on. Wonderful to meet you. And Sunny, you mentioned the programs. Again, the special offer, y'all. There's access to so many tools that are really in alignment with you. And perhaps even specific things that you're aware of that, you know what, this has been a challenge for me. And look, there's a way through and a
Mhm.
way to expansion in it. And like Sunny says, I won't even say how she preaches because she knows that you have access to this amazing world that's available to all of us
Yeah.
without question. And so
Mhm.
how wonderful to be held by someone who is a champion for that truth, right? Wonderful. Sunny, there's a thing that comes up around certain people where there's a fear that they're going to tap into an energy that is not in their highest good.
Mhm. Yes.
How can we
Um,
reclaim the light in that and reclaim our authority in who we're having a relationship with?
Yeah, I think, a lot of that is been trained into us, beliefs around whether we've had some religious background that's taught us that, whether we've had some family societal background that's taught us that. And we honestly have more energy around fear in a lot of cases than we do around love.
Yeah,
And so what I would tell you is nothing has power over you except for the power you give it. And so the negativity that we give attention to expands. Because I'm not going to say we don't have negativity, we absolutely do, but it expands. So whatever we put attention to expands. Now, if we're talking like, negative energies, entities, spirits, devil, that kind of thing, what I would say is that there are negative, lower vibrational energies. And those energies are really just fear, it's just density.
um,
We're light and it's density. And so I don't, I feel like that's always going to exist. There's always going to be polarity. And so we just recognize that it's density. We don't have to actually do anything with it. We don't have to take it on. We don't have to try to adjust it. What we need to do is just be aware of managing our own energy so we don't take the density on. We
beautiful.
don't absorb it.
And the daily practices, the directing our presence in the direction that we want to grow
Yeah.
is key to that as well.
Yeah. Calling in Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael helps us to manage our energy, maintain our energy so we don't absorb the energy of others. We want to be an observer of energy, not an absorber of energy. That's the difference. And we teach a lot about that in my community as well.
There's some beautiful practices to really being in a refined state in your energy. And I know that that you have quite a few teaching tools
Mhm.
and awarenesses that really serve your community and the people that go deeper with you. So I think that's wonderful and so grateful that you're doing that. Uh, Again, y'all, the link for the special offers in the chat box, the special offer buttons underneath the video. You know where to find it. Highly, highly, highly encourage you to participate in the community there. And let's go on to another question. Cindy, I'm going to get to you in a second, I promise. I'm going to take this one question from the chat box. Uh, Carmine wrote in, do the angels speak in our ears? I am deaf in one ear, so that could be a problem. The church says the devil talks into one ear and the angels talk into another ear. So I don't know if I'm hearing an angel or the devil sometimes.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Um, So I've not ever heard that, but that
I
doesn't
haven't
mean
either.
that that isn't a truth in your experience, Carmine. And angels can absolutely speak. They can create voice and audible sound through our ears. It's not one ear or the other ear. What I would say is if it's a negative message, it's a low vibration. If it's a positive message, it's a high vibration. That's how you know the difference. And
Doesn't matter if you're deaf or not.
exactly. It doesn't matter if you're deaf or not because it's internal, right? And we hear it with our whole body also.
Mhm.
And remember that sometimes a negative message isn't the devil, it's our negativity, it's our fears, it's our worries, it's our latching on to some of those things. It can be that negative energy. So it can be our own voice in our own head.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Great question.
it's all for us. Everything that we're receiving is for us. And if we can really take it from that perspective, how do we grow from that in our empowered state rather than diminishing to the authority that we put onto something else and then defining ourselves because of it?
Mhm.
we're really being called up in different ways. And again, we have such amazing guides that are here to show us what is possible. Uh, Great question, and thank you for bringing that up. Now, Cindy, let's go to you now. Welcome to the call.
Hi, hello, John. Hi, Sunny. So glad to
Hi.
be here. Wow, this is so up my alley, this phone call. And to learn that you're in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm actually located in Vail, Arizona.
Oh,
So
awesome. Very cool. Not far away.
we're like neighbors. Yes.
Yes, we are.
So I've got a question. I have been very much communicating with my angels and guides lately, and my son has a high school friend. They're adults now. But her life was taken. I noticed in your bio that you help find missing people. Where the police, they're still investigating of who actually killed her. And I've asked her to come to me in dreams to let me know anything. And she has come to me in my dreams. And I've told her, I truly want to help solve who did this to you. And I had received a telepathic message from her that it's okay. I've already gone past. I forgive them for what they did. And it was some type of karmic thing that happened. But still, I told her, I really want closure for your family and for you. This really needs to be brought out of who did this to you so they can be held accountable. I'm just wondering, do the guides or angels have any messages to help further find who did this to her? She was found dead in Vale 2 years ago in September, like September 22nd, I
So
believe.
here's one of the things that's really important is even though they don't have a physical body anymore, they still are in charge of a lot of the energy connected to them. So if they don't want to be found, or to be for closure or completion, it's very difficult to create that. I've worked enough cases where they've come straight up and said, I don't want to be found. And I'll tell you what, we've tried so hard. And then others are like, yes, we want this. So I would just tell you that that can be a challenge. And there are a lot of reasons, but this is hard for some people to hear. Like I'm speaking at an event on Sunday for parents of murdered children. This is really hard for those types of groups to hear this, but it's been absolutely shared with me over and over and over again that once they transition out of the body, they don't want any connection with it any longer. They're like, woo, I'm free. And why do you keep trying to bring me down with the human stuff? Like that's more of kind of how they are. So a lot
Mhm.
of times they don't create that energy of opportunity for us to go and actually tap into that because they feel complete with it. And what actually is now more of the purpose is those that they left behind and their choice
Mhm.
behind the steps that they take. Sometimes it expands them into opening up into different ways, into connecting in different ways. So what I would say is if you're open and she wants to have that completion, she absolutely will come to you and bring that because that's exactly how they do it. Lots of them have come to me through my dream state, and that's exactly how we solved a case. And if she doesn't, then we just, as humans, we think everything has to have a bow and a tie and it's all prettied up. And sometimes that's not the experience that soul's journey was about. And it's trusting that on either side. I'm not saying it's easy though.
Do you get the feeling from her that she just does want justice to bring the killer?
I get the feeling that she's clear.
Hmm.
That's what she told me. She said she
I get the
was
feeling she's clear.
There you go. Trust that, Cindy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay.
Great question.
Okay.
And way to tune in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, really good question.
It-
Thank you so much. In your program, I'm definitely interested. It sounds like a wonderful opportunity to do some work
Yeah,
Have you read the
great.
through your
testimonials and all
program.
the and everything in the chat box about Sunny in the community? It's like y'all scroll through it also.
I was reading
For
that,
a while. Yeah,
yes.
it's impressive.
Very impressive.
Blessings to you.
Thank you so much. Many blessings to you and everyone.
Thank you.
You're
Sunny,
welcome.
sometimes I think the phrase rest in peace has more to do with the people who are surviving than the soul who's transitioned. Like, rest in peace, I'm good. I'm
Hmm.
good.
You guys rest in peace.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
they're I just had a team, one of my team members that's been with me for 20 years. Her brother just died yesterday, and he came to me the night before, and I didn't know that he was at that level, and he came to me though, and then I knew, and he's fine, like he's good, and I'm like, I know you guys are all upset, but I'm just saying he's good. He's like happy and he's free and he's with his wife that passed 12 years ago, and he's been waiting for this day, and like, don't interrupt their celebration. Like
Yeah, it's so
all
special.
right.
I had that realization about a year ago. I was driving down the road, and all of a sudden I felt both my parents coming in. And at first, there was this like, oh, I wish you were here. If I had one more minute with you, it'd be so wonderful. And then something jolted me. Is like, and I'm so freaking happy for you. Go be free. Enjoy your new space. I am celebrating you. I'm great. If you want to show up, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
Go have the freedom that you didn't get to have here. You suffered so much that why would I want to bring you back into that? I want to encourage you for the next evolution of that freedom and level of love that you're capable of receiving in this new consciousness.
You got it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it liberated me, but I could feel the liberation in them as well, and the acknowledgement. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's again extraordinary what we get to experience here. So there's a question that came in from your community before we went on the call, and this one comes in from Sherry. She writes, I've been struggling lately with depression because my business has taken a nosedive.
Mm.
Is there any way that you could tap into my spirit guides and ask what I should do about my business? I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
First thing I heard is stop listening to the things you're listening to and watching the things that you're watching that bring your energy down. So there's some kind of energy belief system around business, probably and there's a lot of talk around this right now of, okay, everything's declining and it's getting worse. And I'll tell you, my business has always gone up when everybody else's goes down.
Mm,
So I just want to, that's the first thing that came to me as a reminder for you. And then get yourself around people that are in like-minded and wanting to move in that direction, that believe that, hey, we can prosper at any time. There's always people that are prospering when other people aren't. Always. It will always happen. It will never not happen. So get around people that actually have that energy and that belief system that you can surround yourself with, and don't listen to the negatives. It feels like you're quite sensitive, so it's going to activate that part of you that even if you're trying super hard not to, then whatever you push against persists.
mm. Yeah, great advice, Sunny. Little known fact, the Great Depression created the most millionaires in the history of the United States.
Exactly.
So there's opportunities, and the heart alignment and the consciousness that is awakening in
Mhm.
the collective is such a beautiful opportunity for you who are tapped in these communities and guided by that resonance.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
so a lot to be excited about, Sherry, and blessings to you. I know it's difficult
Yeah, it is.
and
It
the
is.
unknown. It's a challenge, but those initiations can really illuminate just an even greater capacity that's true in you that you can carry forward. So sending love and blessings your way, Sherry. Thank you. Of
Well, and can I add that one thing that
course.
might be valuable is, that you mentioned the unknown, John. The unknown, yes, it can be scary and it can be challenging, and there can be a lot of fear in there. Also, every single potentiality of your life lives in the unknown. Every possibility, every cool thing, every amazing thing, every magical thing, it all lives in the unknown. So you just get to decide which unknown you are going to believe in. And it doesn't mean that you're going to not have challenges, but we're living like the unknown is only this over here when it's all of it. And if
Yeah.
you look at your life, you probably not all of it sucks. There's probably some really great stuff. So then we go, okay, then the unknown cannot possibly be that scary. What if I started changing the way I'm seeing the unknown?
Mm. It's a whole different relationship that we start building.
Yeah.
It's an intimacy that we're developing by choosing to put our presence there.
Yes. Yeah.
Y'all, it's not rocket science. It's just what are we devoted to? What
You
are we
got it.
devoted to?
Yep.
Over and over again.
Yes. And
Yeah.
what do we consume? What are we
Yeah.
consuming? This is a great program to consume, but what do you consume with your ears? What do you listen to? What do you consume with your eyes? What do you watch? What movies do you watch? What podcasts are you listening to? What do you consume with your mouth? What do you talk? What do you speak? What do you share? What do you bring in? What do you eat? Like all the consumption. We look at that, and that's what starts to get us in these lower fear-based places, and or not, right? We get to decide what those things are.
Mm, beautiful, Sunny. All right, let's go to Evie now. Evie, welcome to the call. I'm going to ask you to mute your microphone. Let me see if I can help you with that here there you
Sorry about that.
There
go.
you go.
Hi, John. Hi, Sunny.
Hi.
Oh, I'm just loving this conversation. I have a question. Can the angels just sort of shed some light on the path that I have to take in terms of finding a new home and just give me some direction because I've been looking and it just seems like it's a little bit foggy, so I just need some clear direction on where to go and just any more guidance that they have for me.
And did you say finding a home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just want to make sure I heard. And can you tell me your birth date, just the month and day?
3-1, just a month, 310.
310. Okay. Um, what what I feel like, Evie, is that there is, okay, we're on this journey and we're looking for a home. And are you not quite sure where you want to go?
I'm just looking for something, a nice place
Okay.
somewhere. So I'm not sure of the direction,
Okay.
where to look.
So that makes it a little bit more difficult, right? Because then you've got like the whole, like it could be anywhere. So
Yeah.
that's the first thing is it feels like there isn't some um the universe, spirit, God needs direction. They need like, okay, we need a focused energy. So even if you were like, okay, I want to live in this particular neighborhood or this particular city or this particular, then that starts to break down the focus, bring the focus in a little bit. Because
Mm-hmm.
otherwise it's so big that you're not gonna, there's gonna be so messages in all the different places, and the universe is like, okay, wait, where do we want to go? So
Mm-hmm.
fine tune your message. Now, the other thing is that what I feel like is that in your looking, we also have to recognize that the perfect house for me. So like I like to get into the manifestation process of the perfect house for me. What does that feel like? And I want to
Mm-hmm.
bring in the feeling of all like 30, 40 different qualities that I want to feel in the home that I'm attracting to me. I got to embody the feeling of that home.
Mm-hmm.
Then once I do that, then I'm open to letting the universe guide me into the right direction, and I'm trusting that because when you're looking for a home, not only are you looking, but then they have to be releasing that home at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it has to come in perfect divine time. And so here's the word, and it's not my favorite word, but I'm hearing it for you, and that's patience.
Mm.
Okay. And you're probably like, I've already been patient. And I just feel like you need to fine tune it a little bit, give a little bit more direction, either be specific about the kind of exact home you want or
Mm-hmm.
the area that you want so you can fine tune that. Then your angels can start giving you those little subtle hints like you drive down the road and, oh, there's an open house. Oh, let me just stop in, or those types of things. But also remember that we're also in looking for that divine time where they can actually come in and that house has been released. That house is open for you. That home is open for you. So that's part of the challenge with homes. And almost always when I have people that are looking and I can remind them of that, and they can get into that energy, then it's so quick that it happens because they remembered, oh yes, I want the exact home that's for me and it's being released now. And I'm holding
Mm-hmm.
that vision of it being released at the same time.
Yeah. I kind of have a couple of cities that I would look into, and
Okay.
I've been looking into two basic cities so far.
Okay.
And I'm just like, it's not coming up. It's just like, and I
So
understand you're saying just getting to the feeling and just know
Patience.
and ask. Oh, okay. And
and
patience.
patience and Archangel Raphael. I know Archangel Raphael is known for healing on all these
Hmm.
levels, but Raphael actually can help with that physical location. So call Raphael's energy in to help guide you and direct you. But I'm telling you, it's the embodiment of the feeling that you want to feel. Imagine that you're living in that home now. How does it feel? And bring that feeling in every single day. That's the key that brings manifestation into reality, is the feeling piece of it, the embodiment.
Beautiful. Evie, I know you're
Perfect.
going to find it. It's there. Eh, Sunny,
Thank
I
you.
really appreciated your 30 to 40 points, not one or two,
No,
but really
lots.
like locking. It's not that we're creating like the checklist of the perfect mate that we're going to have and they have to meet those requirements, but to feel what it is that we're cultivating in our creation and to have a co-creation capacity with it so it can be met. I love how specific you took it, Sunny, because it really demonstrates not only what we're open, in this case in particular, to a house, but also what we're open to in other aspects of our life as well. It reveals so much about what we're wanting in the fullness of our life, not just one specific area. And it's because our angels really want to guide us towards the bigger source of abundance, not one source of abundance where other things are perhaps lacking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, abundance, joy in all areas. Joy is the highest expression of love. That's really what our angels are bringing us to, is joy.
Wow.
Evie, I feel good about you. Feels
No,
good.
perfect. Yes, I learned so much, and definitely, I'm going to take that into consideration. And the feeling is coming up right now. So thank you
Beautiful.
both.
You
All
bet.
right, blessings to
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Oh my God, Sunny, this has been such a great call. Thank you so much. Y'all, the special offer with Sunny, you know where to find the link now. It's in the chat box, the special offer button underneath the video where you're watching either live or on the replay. And we're going to send out the link for the replay if you're listening live. It'll take a couple hours for it to render, but it'll be posted on our page and we'll send an email out for that link, which is always beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay. Sunny, is there something that the angels want to impart for the audience today as we finalize today's call?
You know, right now, what I would remind all of you of is the message that I get pretty consistently
Okay.
from the angels. And this is to um, be mindful of managing our own energy,
Mm,
maintaining our own energy, not trying to keep everybody else's energy out, not trying to control everybody else's energy and push it away, but instead hold yours. And you can invite your angels to help you to do that, specifically Archangel Michael. He can help you to manage your energy so that you aren't absorbing and you are observing. Because when we can be a witness to what's happening with the people around us, we don't have to be the feelers of it, the takers on of everything and carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You can actually observe that this person's sad, this person's struggling, this person's this, but not be involved in it in a way that is absolutely affecting your physical health.
mm.
So maintaining energy is it's like my number one critical reminder that they give me all the time, because lots of times I go back into habits. And
Yeah.
so we're reminded consistently.
And that keeps us on that clear pathway into that connection also,
Got
which
it. You got it.
the gift from it. Wonderful. Oh, Sunny, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a long time, and I'm grateful that we've reconnected. And again, for the amazing offer the generous offer that you brought to community. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks, John. And I hope you guys come and join my community. I think you'll love it. It's a beautiful community. There's great, great people in there, and it's a price you can't beat. So
The price is crazy, ridiculous. Y'all, thank you for being on the
thanks,
call. Just
everyone.
blessings, blessings to each and every one of you. I bow down to you in namaste. I look forward to seeing you all on the next call. Bye, everybody.